Let's see. Are we live? Do we have audio? Yes, we are. Okay. All right, it is Friday, June 6th, 2025 at 5:03 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Hope you all have had a good week. It's been a good week for me getting to finish that Atlantic City lore video. I'm going to turn this down a little bit because it's a little loud in my ears. Actually, I should have the headphones down a little bit as it is, so I'm going to turn this down to, let's say, 45%. Hope you all enjoyed the Atlantic City lore video. That one took me a long time to get done, so again, hopefully you got something good out of it. Next video is going to be here on Neon. It's going to be covering every side quest in this entire city, along with all the characters, all the shops, all the locations within the city. I'm going to cover it all just like I did with Cydonia and New Atlantis. This stream's probably not going to be terribly long. I definitely, since this morning, have been developing an upper respiratory tract infection, and I'm constantly having to swallow more and constantly having to fight the urge to hawk stuff up. So again, gonna be a little short, but I did want to come by and talk to y'all and see how y'all are doing. So also another good week for me in that I found out I do not have eye cancer, which was a concern that I was dealing with for the past couple of weeks. So I went to an optometrist, and she saw what she thought was potentially something cancerous in my eyes, but when I ended up going to a proper retina specialist, nope, just standard structures of the eye. But I've been dealing with that for the past couple of weeks. Definitely was weighing on my mind a bit, but I'm good to go. It's just the fact that I have very large eyes, because I have an extremely large head. And because of that, you can see structures inside my eyes that you can't normally see in normal people's eyes, but it's just normal parts of the eye. So, anyway, so again, it's going to be covering Neon here, which if you're unaware of it, talked about it a little bit before. If you're just unaware with Starfield in general, it is one of the major cities of the Starfield universe. It is one of the two major cities of the Freestar Collective. And it is a city that is a pleasure city that was once just a fishing platform here on the ocean planet of Voli Alpha. If I can go to... There we go. Yeah, Voli Alpha. Ocean world with just this one little fishing platform on it. They discovered that one of the fish here, called the chasm bass, produces an oil with hallucinogenic properties. And they ended up producing the drug Aurora from that. Aurora is illegal across the entirety of the settled systems, except for here in Neon, and it is only legally sold within the, what is it called? Astral Lounge, I believe is what it's called. It's a nightclub sort of situation up here at the other end. The closest thing I would say to the effect of using it in terms of games, in terms of drugs in games Bethesda has produced, the closest thing is Jet. So we're going to go up and find that. In fact, it is a stimulant. I did use it enough last night with this character to get addicted to it, and it said I was addicted to stimulants. So, let's go here. We can go buy some real quick.
You're new here, aren't you?
I saved the, did a bunch of saves to get the footage for a quest where I was dealing with a doctor, and I wanted to see if he could tell I was addicted to Aurora, and he could not.
Set you up. Here, take a look at the menu.
There we go. I'll go ahead and buy one.
Start with a drink, perhaps?
And Aurora. Okay. Oops. There we go. Sorry, I used the console earlier to get the shot of the promenade here for the purposes of the thumbnail. Hey, Nathan? I'm hoping, it's one of those distant hope things that I would love to see something from Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know if we're going to see anything for that. I would definitely want to see something Starfield related, just because we haven't heard anything serious since Shattered Space last year. So, yeah, my hope is that we'll get something in Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield. I would love to see Starfield come to the PlayStation. I think that a lot of the hate for Starfield comes from PlayStation people because they've never been able to play it, and so they just kind of denigrate it. Let's see, inspect. There we go. So yes, this is Aurora. It's weird that it's not giving me the opportunity. There we go. That is weird that I can move it so little. Is there another set of controls maybe? No. Okay, well, looks like a powder. If we go ahead and use it. I'm addicted to stimulants already. And it slows down time. Like I said, it's the closest thing you can find to jet. There we go. It also lasts a very short period of time, though. And like I said, though, I'm already addicted to it again. So, yeah, the cities basically get the whole cyberpunk feel to it in terms of all the neon and all that, and even including Ryujin, this Japanese corporation that produces neuromods, which is basically a piece of tech that is supposed to allow you to control other people, effectively, control their minds. So it's a pretty interesting thing here, this whole quest line here. I'm not going to cover the Ryujin quest line. I'm not going to cover any of the main quests like run through here, or any of the main faction quests, because there are a few quests that run through here for the Crimson Fleet, the pirate faction for Starfield. But again, I'm just going to cover everything local. And everything that goes to even other platforms, but again is just a secondary quest. For example, last night I recorded all the footage I needed for Reliant Medical's quest here, which is Relief Effort, where you have to go to the clinic in the Narian system to get meds. I think AS6 won't be until next year, but I can... Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, it has been, I think... It's been 6 years since we got any information on Elder Scrolls 6, so it would be nice if they gave us just a little hint of something on there, even if it's just another one of their little teaser trailers like they released last time they did it. So, what else to talk about here? Well, again, with this illness that's definitely getting worse, I'm not going to be recording anything with my voice this weekend, so while I would have liked to have started doing some more Surveil videos again, I can start the prep work for those, but I can't record them. Along with that, I want to get back into the Dragon Age series, now that I have a little bit more time, but again, I'm not going to be able to do those, because those are automatically me speaking. There's no research that's required for those, so... what else? Yeah, the platform is really interesting. There are some very unique things about it for the Starfield universe, even like the. I don't think that's actually what that is. I think that's just a low roof there. If we go back outside, though, we can see the conduction grid, which is kind of a. It's a little bit of a science fiction-y sort of concept that I don't think would have really worked in reality. And like is extremely, from the lore of the universe, is extremely expensive, and to the point where it's not paying for itself. But effectively, Neon on Volii Alpha is in a place where there's so many storms going on all the time that they can technically collect all the energy they need from lightning. Now, the amount of energy that's within lightning is enormous, but of course it's incredibly difficult to harness it because of just, it's a massive amount of energy all at once. So effectively you can barely see it here. I should have just gone up to Ebbside. I don't know why I went all the way down here. But that yellowish thing up there, that kind of bronzish tint to it, that is the conduction grid. And so effectively, my understanding is it's supposed to take a bolt of lightning and spread it across the entirety of the conduction grid. And in that way, they can basically funnel the charge down into large capacitors down within the core of the structure. And with that, they can then power the entire city. Now, again, I don't think that they would really want to do that, because it feels like the craziest form of relying upon the environment for your energy. Like, solar power in space makes a lot of sense. Solar power on Earth makes a little bit of sense. Definitely not as much sense as it makes in space, because you get clouds, you have night, all that kind of stuff. Same issue with wind. Sometimes the wind doesn't blow, but with relying upon lightning for all of your power supply, I mean, what happens if you end up having the storms? What if the storms that they found upon Volii Alpha when they showed up were actually something that does not happen all that often? What if it was something that happens in periods of 100 years, but then there's no storms for another 100 years, and then the storms kick back up again? So it's definitely not something that I would recommend doing, but anyway. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Again, I'm trying not to say too much. to avoid irritating myself here. So, but I did want to get on and talk to you a little bit about what's going on. But I think I'm probably going to end it here, just again because I want to try to avoid doing any more damage to myself than I'm already probably doing right now. So, I'm sorry I'm going to cut it short. Again, if you have ideas for what you'd like to see for a viewer's choice video, I'm going to try to get this video on Neon done in the next couple weeks. If I can do that, then I can potentially do a user's choice sort of a thing, or viewer's choice, I guess would be the proper way to put it. And so if you have any ideas that you'd like to see at a video, not specific to any one game, then go ahead and have those ready for next time, because I'm sure I won't be sick by next Friday. So it's great to hang out with you all. I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will see you all next Friday. Sorry to go, but again, like I said, I'm sick.